So I just flipped these, just stripped them down. This is a CBD Hashplant crossed with Abacus mother. I am assuming that this outlier here was a feminized seed from that Abacus, because the rest are obviously a CBD Hashplant cross. If it is a female, but if it turns out that it is not an exact copy of that Abacus, then I am going to discard it and the clones that I took from it. But interesting outlier anyway. But I've cut these back significantly. A lot of leaves removed. I've hit them with the superworm frass and some of the Fox Farm bloom, and I'll set up my irrigation here shortly now that I've watered in everything. So one quick note about irrigation here, especially if you got a low flow rate. In this case, I have it hooked up to a timer on a live faucet, so my flow rate is really low. I want to make sure that at every intersection here where the rate of flow is going to change in any way, that all of this is on the same plane, so that if I have a rise in the plane of this main feeding tube, this intersection is going to have a lower flow rate. So I just want to make sure if you've got a low flow rate through your main section, that it is on an even plane, so it doesn't affect the flow rate of the individual pots. You don't have to worry about it so much if you got a pump on a timer, because the pressure is enough to substantiate the flow rate throughout the system. Alright, and there it is. I actually turned up my pressure on that main feeding tube and only set watering time for a minute at full pressure every 2 days, and that can be adjusted according to how much these girls are taking up. Some little details. I only got one fan in here, and I got my thermostat behind it, as well as an intake air, which is actually filtered on the outside. I'm not too concerned with smell because I'm growing these legally under a license in Vermont. So the purpose of the filtered intake is only to keep microbes from entering. And with the addition of that, I have absolutely no mold problems ever, because the intake is filtered, and the pressured air, once this is closed up, makes this a near sterile environment. Really excited to see what these are going to look like in flower. Keep following the adventures here at Few True Seeds to find out.